Iowa basketball got some really good news on Thursday as they were able to flip the Mr. Iowa basketball of the season. Jaidyn Coon, Iowa Hawkeyes men's basketball is buzzing. Ben McCollum has his master plan going. It's starting to take shape with back-to-back Mr. Basketball steals and high-stake roster chest going on as well. First, let's talk about the flip. Iowa Mr. Basketball flips from Creighton in a shocking late night coup to be able to bring him over into the recruiting class. The prize 2026 Iowa Mr. Basketball has officially flipped his commitment to the Hawkeyes after months of some quiet kind of behind the scenes courtship. He came on a visit a few days ago, and so he was able to feel really good about that visit. This is a massive recruiting victory, though, in the class of 2026 for Ben McCollum. He is going to be pairing Coon with fellow in-state standout Ethan Harris as well. The signing that McCollum era, the sign that the McCollum era is already getting ready to rewrite the script of Iowa basketball. I talked about this with Spencer on ESPN radio when I've been doing my hits with them after the Elite Eight game. Obviously, that was a very frustrating game to see the loss and everything there, but what you got out of that game was you got a whole lot of exposure for Ben McCollum and Iowa for people to look at this situation and say, all right, well, maybe Ben McCollum did finish middle of the pack in the Big Ten, but you put him in the NCAA tournament, you let his team continue to develop all season long, and he's going to take a group of guys who are brand new, most of them brand new to playing with each other, and he can produce something really incredible. And if nothing else, he can produce an incredible point guard as well. Bennett Sturtz and the point guards that have come before him have all been fantastic. Bennett Sturtz is going to go off and be a lottery pick in the NBA draft. If you are somebody who wants to have success in your basketball career, you are going to be targeting Iowa as a place that you would want to go, especially if you play the point guard position because of Ben McCollum and what he's able to do, because of his offensive strategy, everything he tries to do. He doesn't even do coaching clinics and stuff to, give away any of his secrets or anything like that. Now, maybe he'll start doing that now that he's at a bigger job at Iowa, but to this time, he's not been out there doing coaching clinics and giving away his information and stuff, because he holds it that close to himself and he feels like he has that many answers for what others are trying to throw at him. And you can't blame him either. I mean, Ben McCollum has been highly successful. He was highly successful in D2. He was highly successful at Drake, being able to win an NCAA tournament game, and highly successful at Iowa in his first year, taking them to their first, their first Sweet 16 since, I believe it was 1999. I'm getting things mixed up. Illinois was their first Final Four since 2005. I got a lot of dates running through my mind and years and stuff like that. So give me a break here. But Coon and Harris, to me, this is just merely the opening act of what we're going to continue to see on the recruiting trail for this Iowa basketball team, not just on the recruiting trail, but in the transfer portal as well, as it's going to be very important. Look, Kuhn is a great get for the recruiting class, but he's not going to come in and be, the star of the team or anything like that. He's a 3-star recruit in the top 150 on Rivals, which is great, but he should not have expectations to come in and be the star of this team or anything like that. He should be somebody, excuse me. He should be somebody that is given opportunities, able to develop, keep moving up in the system, and let the other guys that are kind of be coming back next year kind of be those guys that work through the whole system, right? We're talking about Cam Manawa. We're talking about Kale Combs, Cooper Koch, Tate Sage, Isaiah Howard. These guys are all near locks to return to Iowa next season. There's not any rumblings or anything like that behind the scenes of any of them unhappy or wanting to go into the transfer portal. Of course, you can never feel too safe with the transfer portal, but sounds like all of those guys are likely to be back next season, all of them with important roles. You're going to look at Kale Combs as your most likely 2. You're looking at Cam as your most likely backup big man. Cooper Koch, Tate Sage playing the 3, playing the 4 maybe a little bit. We'll see how that whole rotation and everything works out. But the guy that you want to bring back for sure, and he is somebody that you are going to want to put at the 4 because he is more of a natural 4, is Alvaro Folgueiras. Now, if you are an Iowa fan, you are very aware of who Alvaro Folgueiras is. I do not need to give you any introduction here with who he is or anything like that, but The reason we are spotlighting Alvaro is because there is a decision that remains here for Alvaro Folgueiras and what he is going to do with his future. He is being, courted by other programs. There's other programs out there, maybe not talking to him directly because of, tampering and stuff like that, but he's on the radar of other programs that are going to want to go out. The Spaniard had an up and down regular season. He didn't exactly finish the season super well against Illinois, but in the 3 games prior to that, he played very well and was a huge part of why that team was able to make the Elite Eight. The shot that he made in essentially the game-winning shot that he was able to make, he's got a little bit of his regular season overshadowed with how explosive he was in the NCAA tournament run, which is skyrocketing his stock to an all-time high right now. Folgueiras genuinely prefers to be in Iowa City from reports out there, and that's what I'm hearing as well, that he wants to remain in Iowa City where he's comfortable, sees a clear path to a role that fits him better in the 4 spot. Doesn't sound like Iowa's going after anybody right now for that 4 spot. And so it sounds like the perfect opportunity for him to come back to. But if Iowa is going to focus more on maybe paying a true 5 or maybe paying a point guard or something like that, Alvaro Folgueiras might not be as highly paid at Iowa as he could possibly go some other places. So what all Iowa has to do here is, I don't think Iowa has to be the highest bidder. I think they just need to have a competitive bid. I think they need to be within enough range to be able to make Alvaro say, look, you can go someplace else, but you don't have any guarantees there, number one. And number two, they're not going to have a coach as good as Ben McCollum. Now, maybe he goes to UConn or something like that. Okay, yeah, he's the best coach in the country. But as far as I'm concerned, you're not going to go anyplace else and make this huge impact where you don't have a coach as good as Ben McCollum. Like I said, maybe there's another coach or two out there that's sniffing around for him. It does sound like there could be some Big East programs that are maybe going after Alvaro a little bit here. We'll see how that goes. But overall, Alvaro Folgueiras needs to be back at Iowa next season. They need to use him in the 4 spot. And we had a quote from Ben McCollum talking about, their front court and stuff like that a little bit later on. But what does need to happen now is portal priorities need to be set, as Iowa is going to be going after 2 primary players for this team, and we'll touch on both of them. Now, I don't have as many names as much as I have kind of the profile of who they would go after. I do have one name to share with you, and that name is Finley Bizjack from Butler, the Butler transfer. Finley Bizjack, 17.1 points per game, 2.2 rebounds, 2.5 assists, guard, 6'4" for Butler last season. He's going to be a senior. With Sturtz departing and leaving a void at the point guard position, Iowa is in the market for a high IQ lead guard who can thrive and who can handle Ben McCollum's guard-friendly system. McCollum has a proven track record with developing elite point guards, which is going to make it very easy I shouldn't say very easy, but much more favorable for him in the transfer portal recruiting to go out there and talk to the point guards and say, look what I did with Bennett Sturtz, look what I did with the guys before him, just keep going back and back and back. We talk about Kirk Cinetti and his QB development in football. I really feel like Ben McCollum is the basketball version of Kirk Cinetti in that way. Now, does that mean he's going to win a national championship next season? No, that's not what I'm saying. I mean, he could. Who knows? But that's not what I'm saying. What I am saying is that he has the perception, he has the, kind of who he is and the thought process that people have of him with point guards, similar to what Kirk Cinetti has with quarterbacks. Now, does that mean that he's going to have a, Naismith player winner or something like that? No, again, not exactly, but just that kind of perception that, like, yeah, if you're a point guard, you're going to be taken care of if you go to Iowa. So Finley Bizjack, the 6'4" guard, averaged 17 points per game. He would thrive in a screen heavy system. He's viewed as kind of a plug and play option who could step right in to the Bennett Sturtz role and keep Iowa's offense humming. Now, if you look on the other side of it, the true 5 would become the other off-season goal for Iowa here. Ben McCollum, made it crystal clear after the Elite Eight game that they are going to need another, they're going to need some more size, and they're going to need, a 5. So here's what he said. I have it highlighted here next to me if you'd like to see it. Answered a question. Yeah, needs some size, McCollum said. Cam's such a big body, so he's just strong, but it was hard since we don't have a true 5. Now that's true. Cam, good size. He's somebody that can bang down low. He's going to be able to get you some dunks, be powerful, be physical down there. But you need a true 5 that you can rely on for the majority of the game, especially with moving Alvaro Folgueiras to the 4 spot, which is going to be much better for him. And you need a 5 that is not going to be so foul prone and stuff. So we'll see how this whole situation works out here. Unfortunately, I don't have a ton of names or anything like that. And with Ben McCollum, it's extremely difficult to try and get names for who he's going to go after because he is such an eye for talent. I could give you all the names of the guys at the top of the portal and stuff like that, but I don't think that's who Ben McCollum's going to go after. He's going to go after somebody who's good, maybe doesn't cost the most money out there, but somebody that he recognizes through how watching them play and who they are. Now, let me know what your thoughts are on the Iowa Hawkeyes, especially the signing of Jaidyn Coon and the excitement that many fans have there. Fantastic signing, back-to-back Mr. Basketballs in 2025 and 2026 for the Iowa Hawkeyes. A very good signing and something that Iowa fans should be buzzing and very excited about.